there is an inside joke that when we started the company, it could be named Lunatics. The market was dead.
Probably it was totally wrong. As a statement towards freedom, as a statement towards democracy, as a statement towards the industry and the campervans.
Campervans is an answer to the problem of over-tourism.
Okay, thank you very much for agreeing to this little interview about over-tourism in Greece. In case our viewers don't know you yet, maybe you can introduce yourself and your company shortly.
My name is Hermes. Let's say I'm the founder of Luna until we joined forces with the founder of South Motors. So Luna South is born.
So initially, I'm Nikos. Initially, the business, the pioneer in the business was Ernest back in
2018.
Okay. He started with vintage campers. For me, that was like a crazy guy doing rentals with campervans.
With old campervans.
I would say that at that time, being in that industry, most people would have thought you were crazy. And that's part of his character, actually, probably.
Yeah, there is an inside joke. There is an inside joke that when we started the company, it could be named Lunatics, but it wouldn't be that appropriate. Yes.
Yeah.
So we made it Luna Trip. Sometimes, some days, like the last couple of days, which were very, very busy with 40 plus campervans on the same time on the road. It's an inside joke that today it was a Lunatics Day, not a Luna Trips Day.
Exactly.
But what changed the Greek market was the fact that the customs and the tax fee was reduced, because for a decade or so, the market was dead. I was waiting patiently when this would change. We were getting more and more involved to the business, but as Nico said, with vintage vehicles in Creta and then in Athens. But as you can imagine, operating with vintage vehicles has different kind of difficulties, and of course it addresses the different kind of target group and people that at least they are more tolerant to mechanical damages and so on. Now the last 3 years, the Greek market has grown, not only for rentals, but also for sales.
Yeah.
It's very interesting what you told us, because I guess our CEO also was working with vintage vehicles in the past. So there's a similarity. It's funny.
Yeah. It's a good school, because you learn in tough conditions, and you learn that hospitality and customer service is number one. And even if things go wrong, and things can go wrong even with new campervans and even with big fleet, if you're not negotiating with the safety of the guests, it's all about how to deal and support the guest if something goes wrong. If you have a replacement car, if you have 24/7 support, if you have a big team with deep knowledge that can support most of the difficulties wherever you are, and if you have also a network with partners, with workshops in other cities, in other areas, that can solve sometimes easy problems, but the difficult problems when you don't have them inside your facilities, in your depot, and they're somewhere abroad, let's say.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Maybe we can go to the next question. Maybe you can explain how tourism has changed in the past few years, and especially in the last and in the current season, because there were some changes in the laws, I guess. Especially with wild camping. Maybe you can tell us something about this.
Basically, Greece has been a touristic, let's say, destination a very popular destination in Europe, probably worldwide. We are known for islands like Mykonos, Santorini, or others, but in specific regarding the campervan business, after COVID, we started educating Greeks as well, how to enter and how to be part of this van life experience. So it's a constant process of educating ourselves, our team, and our customers. And it's a hospitality business where we also get educated, and slowly, I think we are always trying to be ahead of the market and ahead of its time, so we can better be, let's say, be at our best at all times. Now, the tourism, last year, unfortunately, we had a hiccup or a mistake from the Ministry of Tourism, where they introduced a new law that was totally wrong. As a statement towards freedom, as a statement towards democracy, as a statement towards the industry and the campervans, I think it had a lot of wrong directions by prohibiting this type of tourism all around Greece. Not just for our rental fleet, but for incoming as well, which is very important. We had like 50,000 campervans entering the year before, and that was 2024. And that has increased significantly since the last 3 years, when it was like less than 10,000. So it grew exponentially all these years. And now, like last year, we had this law that completely changed the idea that Greece is a welcome country. It's a nice destination. It brought us closer. So from my personal side, I would say that it was the reason why today we are all having this conversation all together. From my side and Hermes, that was one of the first, let's say, reasons where we had to really work together and close. And that's where we understood that we had common goals and common strategies in many things. We managed as an association, we created an association together with other very important businesses that are involved with many, many years in the campervan industry. Not just campervan, but also other parts.
Not only rental companies.
Yes, not only rental, but sales.
Also campsites, for example?
Campsites, no, it's another association. Camping grounds are another association.
So tourism in general?
No, more campervan oriented, but also professionals, workshops, dealers that only sell or they sell accessories or spare parts. All those people got united. And this union let us introduce ourselves for the first time to this political entity, because there was, let's say, a miswritten law or a misunderstanding of how to implement the law, but probably there was also some political purpose behind that. Because to let you know, so that you understand better what happened, in every European country, as far as I am concerned, you cannot park on the beach, on the sand, right?
Yes,
or you cannot enter.
It's forbidden.
Yeah, you cannot enter into the forest. That's right.
Of course, yes.
Okay, and I don't know how many archaeological areas you have, but the same happens here. Also, you cannot enter and park with your normal car in an archaeological area. So they made that more clear about the campervans, and they also changed one word, which was not just stopping, but also staying. And they changed the word. So the police forces were very confused. Let's say confused from areas to areas. They got some let's say, because also you want to know what's going on with the campsites. The campsites, as we know them until now in Greece, were designed during the 80s, when the camper vans did not exist in the motorhomes. So they were more designed about caravans, tents, or small bungalows. They didn't have that much space for camper vans. So they were like, they took this opportunity to, let's say, change Greece into a less off-grid free camping, wild camping tolerating country. So they can have more, let's say, bigger turnovers and more camper vans in the campings. So they were opposite. They were on the side of the political party to this. But after one season, that they realized that they lost a lot of tourists with their own camper vans traveling to Greece. I believe that most of them, or a lot of them, changed their mind. And at the same time, because there are two sides on every story, this gave us the opportunity to show that we are like professionals that have invested a lot of money in a product that is very expensive, and it's not what they had in their mind. So they were pushed to create and clear out what was misunderstood with a new law, which is bigger than the older one. And that's when we started to celebrate, because now it's clear that the camper van in Greece can park wherever a normal car can park. Okay, not on the beach, stepping on the sand, or in the forest, but anywhere else. You can sleep inside, which even in other countries, it's not that much clear if it's allowed or not, as long as you are not using the sun canopy, the awning, and the marquise, and your table and your chairs. The second step was to make that clear with the, let's say, a united order to all the police departments. And this happened the last month. So we were celebrating last year, but now we are celebrating even more, because officially Greece stayed camper van friendly. So maybe we had this hiccup last year, but this is what will bring us to the future, because we ourselves needed more camper stops, which is something that is not, it doesn't even exist as a term legally in Greece. We had only campings, and then we had, let's say, parkings, but we didn't have camper stops. Already we have some, and the Ministry of Tourism is in cooperation with our union, let's say, creating the fundamentals for this law about camper stops.
That sounds great. I've been to Greece many times and experienced that there's a problem, especially in the winter time, to find open campsites and to find a place where I can bring my waste or bring the grey water, the toilet, where I can clean the toilet. It was very difficult sometimes to find the place.
When was that?
I took around the Peloponnese and went to the eastern part and went further to Turkey. So I've been there many weeks and months in Greece.
How long ago?
Before the first law in Greece.
Like recently,
2-3 years ago.
Yes.
Yes, that's the problem, because as Nikos told you, Greece is very, very strong touristically, but everybody thinks that the islands and the sailing yachts, which we are also involved in this business, so we can compare, and I can tell you later on what's the differences and how we see things this year in comparison between those two markets. But the beauty of Greece is during spring, autumn, winter, people are shocked when we tell them that we have like 7 or 8 ski resorts. 2-3 of them are very, very beautiful, because you can see the sea while you're skiing. and it's more than that. But you don't have open campings. So if you don't have open campings, you can have a lot of camper stops, okay, to support that. On the other hand, you win something and you lose something else, because we know that as more the infrastructure developed, then the less wild camping tolerant is a country. So we cannot complain, because we were always very, very loose in wild camping, and we still are.
I think it's very important to stress out the fact, Alexandra, that the feedback we get from people visiting all around Europe, and it's they're from everywhere, let's say, they enjoy Greece, even the months which are from February, March, April, and they even go by the sea, the swim, the hike, the weather, the temperature is fantastic. So for your listeners and the people that will watch this video, it's very important for them to understand that they can have their vacation on a lower season. It doesn't necessarily have to be during July or August, and they can really enjoy Greece and discover all its diamond, let's say, which is not just Mykonos or Santorini. It's Meteora, it's the mountains and the lakes, and the ski resorts, just as Ermi said. And we see their smiles when they come back. And usually what everyone says exactly the same, it's, we never knew. Nobody knew Greece was like that.
Yeah.
So, I think slowly, but in a nice rhythm, the tourism part on this industry will only get better. It's only uphill for us. And this will probably make us even stronger. We are currently, not to brag, but I think we're the leaders in the size of a fleet, what we can facilitate. We see ourselves as we're very humble, and we really respect our customers. We have very high standards, and we try to learn each day. It's a slow process, but we really look after and hug our customers.
You have very beautifully described the development, and you can really hear that you are pro the tourism and you really welcome the tourists so much. We have a question that would interest me still. If you have any conflicts between maybe locals and tourism, how would you answer that?
This is a nice question. All this, let's say, misunderstanding with the law was an opportunity for some people. They were minorities, usually involved in campsites or, let's say, the hotel and accommodation business, that were the ones at that period of time to go out for camper vans, give some calls that probably somebody is somewhere where he shouldn't be. So we have to admit that at that point there was a small part of the society that was against the camper vans. But I believe that this is something that we can see also in other countries.
Of course.
I've heard about Spain, where we're talking about problems of over-tourism. But people now are starting to understand that, for Greece at least, that camper vans is an answer to the problem of over-tourism, because it's the ones that will take you outside of the city. It's the ones that will go outside of the very touristic cities. It's a more nature, environmental friendly way of having holidays, of having a vacation. And now that the law is clear, I don't see any problems between locals and camper vans.
Usually also they support local communities, financially at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, very important.
usually van life will travel you and take you to places which are very remote, and those locations need to be supported in any way they can find. Imagine that when people come here and they will ask us, where can I find a mini market or a supermarket? We usually say, you know what? Hold on, grab a coffee, take your water, and spend your money in a local area, in a local village, a small village, or support those people that really are in need of such support.
What's very interesting in Greece is that there are some businesses growing next to the hotspots of wild camping. That's the thing I experienced, that there are some bakers or farmers, they sell their
local
to the campers, or their bread to the campers. So I think it's a respectful community together.
Generally speaking, if you find a Greek person and you're not shy to ask, you'll get an answer and you will get the support. You're very,
We are very proud of helping. The word hospitality was really created in Greece from the ancient mythology, where a stranger was passing by and he needed a shower and food and a house, and you open the door to the stranger. That's the Greek DNA. Okay, years go by and people sometimes become a little bit more into their comfort zone, but Greeks will always support more the travelers and the foreigners and the tourists than their own fellow citizens, like other Greeks. And we had sometimes people that misuse the battery system of the camper van, and instead of calling the road assistance, we told them that, we will call the road assistance, but you have to know that the easiest and the fastest way to jumpstart is just to ask anybody. They will love to help. We are really open-hearted and really loud and outgoing with travelers, even more than between our own.
But do you think there's, besides anything that campers could do differently to avoid issues in the future, maybe, between locals and campers?
First of all, I don't believe that all the beaches, let's say, because the problems mostly arise during the summer, because we're talking about over-tourism and we're talking about a beach that everybody wants to share. I believe that there should be some zones and some areas which are more camper van friendly, and some areas that are more, let's say, families oriented, because it's different if we go with one or two vehicles and park and go to have and swim to the beach, then have like 15 camper vans parked there for 1 month, all on the same time. So you have to be a little bit discreet and know that the law is protecting you, but on the other hand, you have also to understand where you are and what's going on around you. So
that's why we're not against any regulation that's based on common sense. We are not in favor of having your camper van parked by the sea next to the water. That's
and taking 3 spaces at the same time.
That's not the right way to do it. And when you have a big flow of camper vans in a specific location, then probably they need to regulate, the local community has to regulate the parking until we get camper stop law, and they need to find a way how to balance everything. It's all a matter of being respectful and balance the situation, because the community and the locals, they need this type of tourism. They might think that they, in specific, if they're not involved, if they don't have the bakery, they don't get the money, but the baker could be, in a sense, their customer in something else. So the money flow needs to never stop. The local community has to regulate and support incoming tourism. And that's part of Greece in general. You cannot just have a law and say, well, you all go home, they're not allowed to park. That's wrong. Regulate, find the right way. We are not in favor of having a camper van in front of a landscape, which is archaeological and you hide. No, if I park a camper van outside your house, you will be probably not happy about it. But if I park in where a park location is, then it's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add that I believe that the last season, people complained about their business going down from gas stations to mini markets, especially in the mainland, because Greece is a small country. But if you stretch out all the coastline of all these islands or of the mainland, which has a lot of mountains, so it's very rich and has a lot of information, and you can make a stop every 30 minutes. You have something to see, a river, a lake, a waterfall, and sightseeing, a beach, and goes on. And they complained, so they understood that if we want to grow and support also the countryside, we have to also invest in camper vans. That was very clear, I believe, the last season.
Do you have last tip maybe for our and your customers where they can really have a good overview what's like the current situation, maybe even with your protest against this law, any website where they can really follow through?
I think the best thing to say at this stage is forget about the law and come and visit us.
Gotcha. Okay.
And there is no reason to further discuss about this issue because, usually bad subjects fly fast and they go all over and people get scared. But how easy is it to say, well, there is no reason to worry about. You can come back to Greece. So I think the slogan should be, we are friendly, we are more than happy to welcome camper vans in Greece, and we're here to support not just our customers, but even people that are in need of any situation that they might have during their vacation time.
I would say you have more than proven that you are so friendly and welcoming. So point made.
And Alexandra, if you come again, you will see that there are now unofficially also some camper stops that you can use even during the winter. And at least we have a lot of public toilets on our highway that you can stop very easily and empty your toilet if you don't want to go to a campsite, which is something that I don't find that easy abroad. Because even abroad you have a lot of camping zones and camper stops, but you have to go there to empty usually.
Yeah. But I think it's not the problem in the high season to find a campsite which is opened. I've been there in the winter month between November and March, and they were not open. So we had to go to the highway stops or to the gas stations.
I believe that that's the solution. Now, the last couple of years, also the southern part of our national highway is amazing. The roads are in great condition. The lighting and the highway, it wasn't like that the last decade. So in a matter of road infrastructure, we are in a very, very high level. And I believe that it's a matter of a couple of years that we have even more campings open during winter. But for us, May and June is the best. May and June and September, October, and even half of November, it's the best part of our summer. It's the best part of the year. Of course, July and August can be a little bit more hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially in Crete. But on the other hand, the beauty of Crete is pretty much unique. But if somebody was asking me, I would really advise visiting Greece the whole year, not like just July and August.
Yeah.
Also to
I
stretch
think the
it out.
spring is very beautiful. There's some small yellow flowers everywhere.
Yeah, and
And
we
you
have
see the orange
amazing traditional villages in the mountains, and the northern part of Greece is very, very rich and very green.
Yes. And you have
And
thermal springs where you can
yes,
bath.
we have thermal springs
I love
all
them.
over. Yeah, and it's the best time of the year to have some canoe and kayak, to ride a horse, to climb, because we have more and more climbers, or just to hike. And we have created a network with activities or agro-tourism or activities, experiences like wine tasting and so on, that are becoming more and more popular the last years for Greeks as well. Everybody is hiking a mountain. After COVID, people turned to nature back again. And for your statistics, we were operating before COVID with, let's say, 65% were travelers from abroad, and the rest was Greeks. And now it's the opposite way around. But it's not that the travelers from abroad are getting less. It's the fact that the Greeks have doubled their interest.
And do you think the Greeks do have their own motorhomes now, maybe?
Because we are very, very strong also in selling and importing camper vans. It's certain that they buy every year more and more.
It's becoming more popular.